Today, we're going to get rage baited. The football world, no doubt, has some terrible takes out there, but it's quite possible that the worst takes come from our producer, Ken. Today, Ken has written up a list of some of his hottest takes. We're going to see if they're trash or if he low-key has the ball knowledge. Ken's first take.
Oh, God.
If his trajectory holds, Bukayo Saka will have a better career than Mo Salah.
Calm down.
Nah, for sure, bro.
Oh my God.
Nah, Tom, you're gonna argue this. I'm gonna let you make your argument first because go ahead.
Mo Salah's the best winger, not named Lionel Messi.
Or Iron Robin.
Of the last what?
Or Iron Robin.
Shut up! Of the last like 20 years.
Or Frank Ribery.
Mo Salah's the greatest Premier League player of all time.
Greatest Premier League player of all time when we have Thierry Henry still alive.
Yeah, he is the best.
The greatest Premier League player of all time when we still have Thierry Henry alive and well.
Okay,
Invincibles Arsenal, Thierry Henry.
Mo Salah's won what? He's won more Premier Leagues than Thierry Henry.
Yeah, Arsenal's also cursed.
He's got a better goal per game ratio. He's got a better goals and assists per game ratio.
I think
if Mo Salah plays the last 2 seasons out of his contract in Liverpool, he will break Thierry Henry's goal scoring record. He already beat his 20-20 season. It's not a contest.
Okay, but Thierry Henry also played less years in the Prem, right?
Fewer. And also, you've got to talk about Bukayo Saka.
Okay, Bukayo Saka, for me, you got to think about it. Bukayo Saka's already the second greatest right wing in the world right now, if you really look at it statistically wise and on paper. I don't count Rodrigo as a right winger, so don't tell me that. Olise also plays for Bayern Munich, who are consistently dominating the Bundesliga. If you look at the statistically, Bukayo Saka's the second best left-footed right winger in the world.
Okay.
You could agree with me on that.
Sure.
Okay. Next, we got to look at age. Bukayo Saka's, 23 years old?
Yeah.
Already starting for Arsenal. Already statistically had one of his best seasons, and he got hurt midway.
That's why I'll cut you off.
Wait, give me one more thing. Another thing is this: Bukayo Saka is also younger than Mo Salah, so he has a lot more years to go. He hasn't hit his prime, and he's still hitting the numbers that he's had. Mo Salah, when he first started the Prem at that same age, where was he? He was at Chelsea. He wasn't playing minutes.
Because he's at Chelsea.
He wasn't good enough.
Yeah, because he was at Chelsea.
Okay, but Bukayo Saka's on a Premier League team right now, and he's good enough, and he's one of the mainstays.
The reason he broke into the Arsenal side is because everyone else was buns. You had no choice.
But also, he's an academy player, so you're coming at a disadvantage already.
Okay, well, look, here's my thing with Saka. Yes, look, brilliant, love him. Great footballer. I think Saka's legs are going to be cooked by the time he's 27, bro.
But I feel like that goes for every winger that's going to be playing modern football. Every game, every player is playing 60 to 70
Then how can
games.
he be the GOAT if he's done at 27?
All right, I'm judging right now, and I agree with Raheem here.
Are you joking,
I'm not joking.
Corbin?
No. The take is, if this trajectory holds, Saka will have a better career than Mo Salah. At this point in his career right now, Saka is miles ahead of where Mo Salah was, and if he keeps it up, not even in his prime yet, one would assume that he'll have a better career than Mo Salah.
I'm going to assume.
All right, tell me wrong. Point number 2.
Tell me wrong.
If Arsenal don't win the Premier League after all the signings they've had, Arteta needs to be sacked at the end of this next season.
Yes. No more excuses, bro. You have spent so much money. You have made your fan base even more annoying. You've tried to create a perfect system and it still won't win. Are you kidding? I'm sorry, bro. You've had your chance. At that point, it's time for someone else to have a go.
I'm not going to lie, man. I read some statistics the other day that since Arteta's been at Arsenal, he's signed 11 or 12 goalkeepers, 9 defenders, 6 midfielders, and 2 forwards, bro.
What's the meme? It's like, hey, Macau, we really need another striker. I signed another left back. Let's go.
It's crazy, bro. Why does he hoard? Why does Arteta love hoarding center backs, bro?
Right.
I agree with you. I think that if Arteta does not win anything this year, bro, we have to find someone else that could take us over the hump because we gave him this is several opportunities with a great squad to take us to a championship, to a trophy. Tottenham did it somehow. I don't know how. Listen, bro. The crazy thing is that I have to deal with Tottenham fans now telling me they want a trophy. Do you know how disappointing that is, fam? That makes me sick, bro. This might be one of the few hot takes that me and Tom actually agree on.
Hey, good job, man.
Yeah. All right, producer Ken with the hot take knows ball. I think everybody agrees on this.
Wait, does that mean we have to admit that Ken knows ball?
Ken knows ball.
Slightly. 1 out of 2 so far. 1 out of 2. 1 out of 2. 1 out of 2. All right.
We'll count his score at the end.
His third hot take. The U.S.'s excuse of our best athletes not playing soccer is irrelevant. The American men's national team will never be close to any big European men's national team. I know what I'm going to say.
I mean, I gotta agree at some point. Like, bro, I know that Americans make this point where it's like, yo, if LeBron James played soccer, he'd be the greatest center back to ever exist.
He does.
Like,
you
know
have
what I'm
Christian
saying?
Pulisic. You have the
LeBron James.
All right, bro. But since when is Christian 6'10" in black? You know what I'm saying? I never really got that. I never really got that joke, bro. Like, I never really understood. But like,
Marketing,
for me though, like as an American, and I know a lot of people say like, look, if Americans were the best athletes, if the best athletes played soccer, they'd be amazing. It's like, bro, since when was our development great enough for us to even predict that? So that's one of the big things for me. But at the end of the day, do I think the U.S. men's national team could compete against European clubs? I mean, we've seen it in World Cups. We've seen them tie against England in the 2022 World Cup.
You've seen you what?
We've seen them compete.
You've seen them what against England?
Tie.
That's not competing.
That's competing.
That's
Yeah, it
not
is. Well, why
competing.
didn't you win then?
That's not competing.
Why didn't you win then?
That's not competing.
Why did you win?
It's not competing to top.
So why? Wait. Let me finish, bro. Let me finish. You
Let
cutting
me
me off.
talk.
God, if not winning is not competing, you haven't competed in a long time, my boy.
Because all right, we compete against some of the biggest clubs in the world, but at the end of the day, like, is U.S. soccer really in a place where we could really say that consistently we could develop talent enough to compete with the world's best? Probably not.
Let me cook. All right, this take is wrong. The best American athletes don't play soccer cliche is a cliche, and I think that is irrelevant. I agree with that part of it.
Sure.
Like, it's really fun to be like, well, if Tyreek Hill was a left winger, whatever. Yeah, maybe, but it's such a different sport.
Yeah. Also,
And yeah, you
You're-
trust American soccer? Like, do you trust the American soccer system enough to turn Tyreek Hill into a dominant left winger? Come on, bro.
Here's my
on.
thing. Okay.
I think that we will see in our lifetimes the U.S. be the best national team in the world. Not far and away, not blowing everybody out, but up there with the Spains or Brazils or Frances or Germanys, whoever you want to say is the best, right? Not England. I think that we will see that in our lifetimes, and I think we'll see it because of a lot of reasons. One is we're a sport-obsessed country. I know that we have a variety of sports, and people say that that's a weakness for soccer. I disagree with that. The money, the development infrastructure, the desire, and the drive for young athletes in this country to go professional in whatever sport they choose is unlike anywhere else in the world. It will be impossible for the U.S. not to be at the level of these other countries.
Do you know what's crazy? I agree with you.
Wow.
I actually agree with him. I think it's fun to on the USMNT, and it's like kind of hilarious. But like, I think if America puts more money into it and just hires better coaches and does better and spends that money wisely, not a question.
That will happen.
Not a question. Because here's one thing you see in like European football as well, on smaller scale. You see teams go through poor eras, or like countries go through poor eras, and then they invest and then they get better.
So what do we think? Ball knowledge or not for Ken to say that the U.S. will never be competitive? I think that's some tomfoolery. That's a hot take.
I'm gonna say some tomfoolery, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think the U.S. could do a little something in the next couple of years, but like we said, bro, it's gonna take time, and a lot of people from Europe and these countries don't recognize the system and how the U.S. system is built and why it's like that, bro. But
Yeah.
we're gonna get to a point where we're gonna catch up.
I might be an old man with a walking stick by the time it happens.
Yeah.
You might, but it'll happen.
We will be there.
We'll be there.
Ken's next hot take. People who are against VAR are just salty because they feel like the decisions never go their way.
Arsenal fan talk.
Okay, this is what I would say about VAR. I understand why it's implemented in the game. I understand, like, listen, like, bro, there's a lot of goals that we've seen in the past, like Frank Lampard's strike in the 2010 World Cup against Germany.
The way
in
he's
the
just baited
quarterfinal.
me with that.
That should have counted, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? If VAR existed today in this age, that goal would have
U.S.
counted.
got done dirty against Germany in the World Cup as well.
U.S. got done dirty.
humble.
What I don't understand about VAR is, for example, I just watched the CONCACAF Nations League final, and I saw a guy literally put his hand on the ball in the box.
That's not a penalty.
Why is that not a penalty?
Because he's falling and he can't break his fall.
Yeah, but you
Come
still
on,
touch it in the
bro.
box
Like,
and use it to
come on,
control
bro.
it in
I
the
don't want
box.
to hear that. All the things you can control, you're gonna control that. You're gonna put your ball on the hand.
Your ball on the hand.
You're gonna put your hand on the ball at all the
Hey.
places. All right. The one thing I don't like about VAR, I think it's super inconsistent, bro. Like, I think it still has human error. Like, at the end of the day, human error is still gonna be in there. The ref still has to dictate that. I think VAR is great for the game. I'm glad that they introduced it, but at the same time, it's like, bro, this is supposed to make mistakes not happen. I still see the same mistakes that I'd see if there wasn't VAR.
I think you're mad because you're an Arsenal fan and Arsenal fans think that
Bro,
the VAR.
whatever. Go ahead,
against
make your case then, bro.
No,
Let me see.
because here's the thing. I think with VAR, like generally, and you talk about mistakes, right?
Yeah.
You got 1 or 2 mistakes over the course of a whole season, right? Because with VAR, it is a man or woman far away in a booth looking at a game and interpreting it like in an entirely different way than a referee in the middle of a game, right? So say you're a normal ref, right? you are like there, you're saying, oh, you know, for me, that's not a foul in this game. That is a yellow. Maybe that's a red. You know what I mean? Like, referees don't referee every game the exact same way.
Yes.
Right? Because you just know, hey, this is going to be a physical game, man. Like, we'll let a yellow go. That kind of thing. Or maybe the opposite. The point is that a VAR has to remove all of that and then make an objective decision, which is really difficult, dude. And I think that in being able to hold any objectivity as a former referee and look at that and make an informed decision is so hard.
Of course it's hard.
So hard. And I honestly think we should be grateful for what VAR gets right, way more than mad about what they get wrong. Because, look, and I say this as a Liverpool fan that got absolutely by Tottenham 2 years ago.
I'm with Tom. I think that VAR is good. I think that people hating on it just want to hate, and they're going to hate no matter what. If there was a VAR and there was a blatantly missed call and you're watching the replay and the game goes on, they'd be so mad at the ref and say, we need to be able to review that. So, yeah, I'm with Tom. And I think I'm with producer Ken on this one, who said...
Oh, am I going to agree with producer Ken?
Yeah, we agree with producer Ken.
Oh.
Okay, producer Ken's last hot take here, and I think this one's really interesting. Fans who say support your local while supporting a massive club are hypocrites because the club they support wouldn't be nearly as successful without international fans. I agree with that. It's pretty rich to hear we don't necessarily get it as much in the US, but...
So, what? If someone from Birmingham isn't an Aston Villa fan?
No.
That's stupid.
No. If you're a United fan...
Right.
Okay, if you're a United fan from Manchester, and there's a United fan from...
Wait, no, I get this point. Ken, you're stupid. That's so dumb. The only reason that people support big clubs is because they have years of history built up.
Yeah. No, that's not disagreeing.
That starts with local fans and has to be built over time. The reason United are massive is because people from Manchester have loved Manchester United for 100 years. Same with Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea to an extent. Like, no, that's stupid. International fans now, they aren't needed. People don't need international fans whatsoever.
That is such a terrible take.
They're not necessary.
You know what percent of revenue comes from international broadcast rights?
Okay, so they need them to make money, but they don't need them for relevance or fan base.
Well, they need them to make money to sign players to run the club to make their local fans happy.
Well, it depends how much of a financial breakdown is coming from like jersey sales, ticket sales, match day revenue. Right now, dude, it's all just foreign owners. Like, if Qatar bought Liverpool tomorrow, no one's going to be like, oh, why is a guy in, like, the Midwest buying, like, a Florian Wirtz jersey over, like, someone from Liverpool? No. International fans are not needed. That is stupid.
That's
terrible
terrible
opposite,
take.
bro. I feel like for football is the world's game and it's the global game, and I feel like being a part of that is having people from around the world being a part of these clubs. I feel like these clubs, the reason why they come to America, the reason why they go on tour in Asia, of course they want money and substantial monetary compensation for their travels and stuff. But also, you got to remember, they got to make a statement within these nations in order for them to grow and be as successful as they can and to grow the brand image. Because at the end of the day, if your brand image stays stagnant, you won't have the same resources. Like, if Liverpool was just a brand in England and relevant in England, you wouldn't have the money to buy Wirtz.
We have examples like that. We have examples like that right now.
Lads, I agree. Like, I agree with you partially on that point.
Yeah.
Right? But the reason that Liverpool goes to America isn't because they want money to sign Florian Wirtz. It's because they want money for, like, brand deals, bro. But Liverpool don't need those guys. What they want is the extra 100 million that they bring.
Oh, absolutely.
There's still always your core support. I think everyone, like, dude, you're an Arsenal fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you an Arsenal fan?
Oh, because I went on trial there.
Right. Why are you a Man City fan?
Watch the Aguero goal when I was a kid.
Nothing wrong with that. That used to really f me off when Americans were like, I'm a whatever. Right. You connected with that Aguero goal. You had a reason to be there because you went on trial. That is absolutely fine. You have every right to support that club.
Yeah.
Right. We've had a lad on here a few times. Good vibes, John. Like John Shin, he's our boy. He's like a United fan. And he's like this Korean American who's like 33.
Yeah.
Right. Why? Like, I'm not having a go at him for being a United fan.
Oh, nah.
But clubs don't need those guys. They are nice to have. Arsenal don't need you as a fan in the way that they need people from North London to be a fan.
Let me ask you something. How do international people feel about foreign fans?
What?
As an Englishman,
how do English people feel about
foreign fans?
I hate them.
Yeah.
Which is
dude,
that,
dude,
and so
dude,
this
dude,
is this. Hold on.
Dude,
This is
until I
go
moved,
ahead.
until I moved here, and until I started really hanging out with Americans who love soccer, I hated American soccer fans until I was like 20.
But also, I think this also shows the importance of like why American clubs like MLS, for example, need an authentic fan base, because I feel like a lot of people are fans of these English clubs, La Liga clubs, Serie A clubs, and a lot of them might have the same perspective as you, where it's like they look at an American fan and be like, "Yo, we don't even need you to be a part of our club."
Dude.
And I think there's a big thing that needs to be said about in football of like being in a club that really like wants you to be a part of the club and be a fan.
That's the issue.
Yeah,
That's
the issue with American
fundamental
soccer.
issue.
It's like I feel like in American soccer, a lot of these American fans, they aren't fans of MLS teams, but they go be a fan of like a European club, and these European clubs don't
Right.
even care about your money or presence.
All right. So the overall take was fans who say support your local while supporting a massive club are hypocrites because the club they support wouldn't be as successful if it wasn't for fans abroad. Agree. If you are a Manchester United fan and you see an Indian Manchester United fan and you tell that guy that you should actually just go support some club in the Indian Premier League is cricket. You know what I mean? In the Indian League, like that's hypocritical because without that fan in India or the fans in Japan or the fans in the US, your club would be nowhere near as successful as a business, and that money does get reinvested into the squad or into your match day experience at the stadium or into the signings that you make or into the coaching or the salaries or whatever. And so it is very hypocritical of a Liverpool fan or Arsenal fan or whatever from the UK to be like, oh, these Americans, they're not real supporters of my club.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be in Everton, you can be in Everton. That's what happens when you don't have as many American fans as these big six
Right.
clubs.
Okay.
You're
Look,
not
I think you are fundamentally wrong on that, and I will never ever be like you have to be a Liverpool fan. Support a club that you feel like you connect with.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Right.
That's how we're saying. What I'm saying is, if you have
But they've already established themselves as a brand, dude. They don't need the extra ones.
I think that you are missing out on the point. If they didn't need it, why is every big club in the world clamoring to have Raheem go to their events or clamoring to open an office in New York?
Because they like having the money. They don't need the money. They
But you're
like
spending
having
money
it.
to come here.
Yeah,
So we're
it's an
trying to say.
it's an investment. Producer Ken's hot takes were in fact hot.
Tom was feeling the pressure, bro.
He was feeling.
You're loyal about your British fans, huh?
Well, don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. Like you can say things, just don't make them stupid. I mean, I'm pretty stupid, but I don't claim to be right all the time.
My overall take in general is that soccer is the worldwide game. It's for everybody. If you want to be a Manchester United fan and you're from South Africa, be a Manchester United fan.
Okay, yeah. Trying to squeeze in a last point. Come on.
That's it. Like who you like, you know.
Support you support.
Support who you support.
Okay,
and you
sweet.
shouldn't judge other people for who they do, unless it's a really stupid reason.
Unless it's Arsenal.
Unless